There is a story that I'm sure most of you have heard of, and that is the story of Atlas. Atlas, the titan that held the unfathomable weight of the world upon his shoulders. A task seemingly impossible was something only Atlas could endure. Without Atlas, it would all crumble. It would be over. I think it's quite clear why I'm mentioning this. I believe Assassin's Creed Shadows might be Atlas holding up the world of Ubisoft. If it fails, there will be no more Ubisoft. At least not in the way we know Ubisoft. Assassin's Creed Shadows is a game that is surrounded by controversy, for both valid and stupid reasons. During the current climate online, it's not surprising that AC Shadows is so divisive, but it's still highly disappointing. There's no doubt about the fact that Ubisoft as a company have been going to shit these last few years, and it has reached a point where a lot of people are not only expecting their downfall, but actively hoping for it. Of course, there are understandable reasons for this. Sexual misconduct, repetitive game design, NFTs, no innovation, and overall a feeling of blandness that people have gotten tired of. Ubisoft as a company does need change. There's no doubt about that. But I feel like hoping for a company to go under is not what we should be hoping for, but rather we should hope for it to reform into something better. Something worthy of the Ubisoft name. Ubisoft has not had a real big hit since AC Valhalla 4 years ago, which is unbelievable considering the amount of games they released since then, like Far Cry 6, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, Star Wars Outlaws, X-Defiant, Skull and Bones, and a lot others. Some of these being bigger flops than others. I still can't believe Skull and Bones didn't get cancelled many years ago. The thing that bums me out the most here is that Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown was actually an incredible game from the Rayman Legends team. It reviewed well and players loved it. So what did they end up doing? They ended up disbanding the team because it didn't perform as well as they had hoped. It's sad but not surprising. People did not think that it would be particularly good, and it also wasn't what a lot of Prince of Persia fans wanted. Nevertheless, it's disappointing when a team that made a good game gets punished because it didn't do well enough. The Ubisoft stocks are at an all-time low, and with no real big games in sight, all eyes land on Assassin's Creed Shadows. You can certainly tell that Ubisoft are putting everything into it. For the first time, they are actually responding to criticism on a large scale. They did something an AC game has never done. They delayed the game. This is something that was clearly needed. The main thing I had a problem with from the trailers was the lack of polish. Polish isn't exactly something I expect from Ubisoft. I can't really think of a single Ubisoft game that is genuinely polished, except Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. The delay was made in response to the huge backlash they got for multiple reasons. Also the disappointing sales of Star Wars Outlaws. It made them rethink their whole strategy since they really need a win. This will supposedly allow them to fix some of the cultural inaccuracies they had, like flags and buildings being completely wrong. And also, hopefully, make the game a lot more polished for release. If people are hoping this delay will change a lot surrounding Yasuke, I highly doubt it. I also suggest you grow up, honestly. Overall, I always thought Assassin's Creed Shadows looked like a game I would really enjoy, considering I have enjoyed every previous Assassin's Creed game, even through a lot of its flaws. But even I saw that the game needed a lot more polish before being ready, and I'm glad they're going to try to improve the inaccuracies like flags, buildings, and stuff like that. But people do need to keep in mind that Assassin's Creed as a franchise has always taken big liberties in the history. This isn't supposed to be the most accurate history game ever. Come on, you had a fist fight with the Pope in one of the earliest games. Nobody complained about that then. Don't even get me started on all the sci-fi aspects in this series. You don't have to like it, that's totally fine, but this double standard does really annoy me. So what do I think is going to happen? I'm going to be honest here. I do think Assassin's Creed Shadows will do well. Really well, actually. All the AC RPG games have done really well in the past, and I expect this one to do real well too. Will it be enough to save Ubisoft as a company? That is something I simply cannot predict. But the changes they've made to Assassin's Creed Shadows, from the delay to getting rid of the Season Pass, I do hope it's a view into a Ubisoft that is willing to change and willing to improve to become what it once was, or at least something better.